They mocked him on live television, calling him nothing more than a shadow behind the lights. Veronica Steele, the glamorous host, believed her words could erase a man with decades of sacrifice carved into his soul. But Daniel Brooks was no ordinary crewman. He was a retired Navy SEAL commander who had led warriors through battles the public would never know. What happens when prejudice collides with hidden strength under the unforgiving eye of live cameras? The studio lights rise, and the story begins. The studio lights burned bright, but the moment turned cold when Veronica Steele's voice sliced through the air. "Don't touch that, boy. You're only here to carry cables." The audience chuckled uneasily, their eyes darting between the glamorous host and the black technician frozen beside the stage. Daniel Brooks didn't flinch. His jaw tightened, the faint trace of discipline etched from years no one in that room knew about. Veronica smirked, savoring her power under the cameras, convinced she had reduced him to a shadow in his own workplace. But what she didn't know was that the man she had just humiliated once commanded elite Navy SEALs in missions no headline dared to print. And as her words echoed across live television, Daniel was about to remind her, and everyone watching, that silence is never the same as weakness. Backstage, the tension didn't fade. Veronica brushed past Daniel, her perfume heavy, her tone sharper without the cameras. "Stay out of sight. People don't tune in to see your face." Her words landed like daggers, and the control room went silent. One cameraman shifted uncomfortably, but no one spoke. Daniel lowered his eyes for a moment, not in defeat but in calculation. His hand brushed the lanyard on his chest, a small gesture carrying the weight of discipline forged in battlefields oceans away. Later that evening, the pressure grew darker. Daniel's younger brother Marcus, a promising college athlete, was cornered by a sponsor connected to the show. "Sign this contract," the man ordered, slipping a folder across the table. "Or your brother won't last long in this business." Marcus's voice shook when he told Daniel. "They said they'll bury me if I refuse." Daniel listened, silent at first. No one moved. The memory of Veronica's smirk and the sponsor's threat collided inside him. He had faced insurgents with rifles, oceans that swallowed men whole. Yet here, in his own country, his family was under attack by arrogance and prejudice wrapped in polished suits. The next broadcast loomed. Daniel tightened his grip on the console, watching Veronica rehearse her lines with practiced cruelty. The world would see her performance. But they would also see something she never planned, the truth. The live segment began with applause, cameras sweeping across the glittering set. Veronica stood center stage, flawless under the lights, while Daniel remained in the shadows behind his console. But the storm was already moving. Halfway through the broadcast, Veronica turned suddenly, eyes locking on him. She strutted toward the backstage rail, her smile venomous. Then, in one swift motion, she grabbed his collar and hissed, "Know your place. You'll never be more than background." The audience gasped. Some thought it was scripted, others sat frozen, unsure if they had just witnessed something real. Daniel's body remained still, but his eyes, steady, unflinching, met hers. The silence spread like wildfire, pressing on every chest in the room. Then the screens flickered. Audio clips rolled out live, Veronica's own voice captured off camera, "He's nothing. Just a black body moving lights for me." Gasps turned to outrage. Veronica spun toward the cameras, panic breaking her flawless facade. Daniel didn't shout. He didn't move. His voice cut through steady, measured. "You call me invisible. But I've commanded men who gave their lives for this country. And tonight, you've shown the nation who you truly are." The studio felt smaller, suffocating, as millions watched the mask crack wide open. The control room erupted, producers shouting over headsets, scrambling to cut the feed. But it was too late, the broadcast was already everywhere. Viewers across the country sat stunned as Veronica's off-air words looped back on screen, her face unraveling in real time. Security stepped forward, uncertain, until one cameraman finally broke the silence. "Leave him alone," he said firmly. Others joined, their voices shaking but resolute. Veronica's authority crumbled under the weight of exposure. Daniel stood tall, not raising a fist, not shifting an inch. His stillness was louder than any retaliation. Veronica's grip on his collar loosened, her hand falling away. She looked around, but no one would meet her gaze now. Even the sponsors watching from the VIP box had gone pale, their whispers frantic. For the first time in years, Daniel felt the same clarity he once carried into combat: the tide had turned. He hadn't fired a shot, but the battlefield was his. The next morning, headlines blazed across the nation. Racist host exposed on live TV. Clips of Veronica's words flooded every platform, while Daniel's calm, unwavering response became a symbol of dignity under fire. Sponsors pulled their contracts, the network suspended her indefinitely, and investigations followed. Back in the quiet studio, Daniel returned to his post, adjusting lights as though nothing had changed. Marcus entered, his voice low but steady. "You didn't just protect me, Dan. You protected all of us." Daniel's gaze held firm, not blinking, not retreating. Around them, colleagues who once looked away now stood taller, offering nods of respect. No one spoke, but everyone knew. Daniel glanced at the cameras, their red lights glowing. For years, he had served in silence, his victories hidden in classified files. Now, in a single night, his strength had illuminated a truth larger than himself: respect is not granted by fame or wealth, but earned by integrity. Thank you for watching. Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that reveal the power of truth.